Ito ba hindi ko ba ito hindi ko ba ito na-i-upload sa inyo?
Na ano muna ito, Pastor, pero kung ang magkakalang ko sa video, isi-send mo.
Ito mismo, hindi ko pa siya na-send.
So yun ang natin.
Okay. Lahat ng verses ni Hebrews, lahat yan may mga short explanation. Lahat ng verses mo may short explanation. Kaya nire-reply ko lang sa inyo, 1, 2, or 3 sentences. Hindi mahaba. Basta kailangan nyo lang makapture lang ninyo kung ano yung sinasabi nung verse na yun patungkol sa person ba ni Jesus or sa work of Jesus. Not long, not short, brief. Kasi pwede namang short yun, pero it doesn't make sense kasi hindi na-capture yung sense ng verse. So, kung kaya ng isang sentence, okay lang yun. Kung dalawa, pero huwag nang lalagpas sa tatlo. Ngayon, pagdating sa summary ng findings mo, doon mo na siya i-integrate. Makikita mo dito, for example, in the book of Jesus, sabi nga dito, in the book of Hebrews, Jesus is called the Son of God. Ito yung mga verses na nasasabi that Jesus is the Son of God. Kaya importante dito yung clustering na gagawin dito. Ito na lahat ng mga verses, no? Alin dito ang tumutukoy kay Jesus as Son of God? Hebrews ganito, Hebrews ganito. So, isang cluster yun. Si Jesus as High Priest, isang cluster yun. So, kaya magkakaroon kayo classifications, yung person sa word ni Jesus. Each classification, meron ka pang clustering patungkol sa person ni Jesus. His deity, His humanity, and so on and so forth. Jadi ka cluster mo ngayon, mga so you summarize your findings, conclude your findings, and make a personal reflection. At least 5. Pag sinabing personal reflection, you will be using I, me, not us, we. It's your personal reflection. Diba na ba? Parang sa church lang yun kapag nagte-testimony. Yung ginagawa yung testimony, hindi na testimony, preachimony na eh. Parang tayo dapat, ganito, ganyan. Hindi tayo, kasi nga kaya magte-testify eh. It's your experience of God. Now, it's your experience in the book of Hebrews. As you reflect on your findings of who Jesus is and what He does. High Priest. It covers chapter 4, verses 14 to chapter 7, verse 28. At yung interrogatory part nga, pagdating sa chapter 8, verse 1. And so, basically, makikita natin dito yung qualifications ni Jesus as our great high priest and kung anong lineage or anong order ni Jesus Christ as our great high priest. And furthermore, from chapter 8 hanggang chapter 10, makikita natin dito yung priestly ministry ni Jesus is indeed a superior institution. It is a more excellent ministry. Bakit? Basically, on these 3 reasons. Because Jesus is a mediator of a better covenant. Jesus is a mediator of the heavenly tabernacle. And Jesus offered a better sacrifice. So kaya itong outline nito, just pwede alalahanin nyo ito. Dito iikot ang ministry, ang high priestly ministry ng ating Panginoon sa Kristo. So as we continue, let's open our Bible in Hebrews chapter 4. Is fully qualified. Fulfilling the purpose of a priest, meeting the qualification of sympathy, meeting the qualification of being owned by God. So ito yung outline natin. Interestingly, when you look at the second portion of the outline, I think Narinig nyo na ba pag sinabing chiastic structure?
Chiastic structure.
Chiasm. Pag sinabi yung chiasm, no? Tulad dito sa ano natin, no? Sabi niya dito, notice part of the outline is inversely structured, sometimes called a chiasm or chiastic structure. For example, katulad dyan, A, B, C. C, D, A. And sa chiastic structure, kung ano yung nasa gitna, yun yung binibigyan na emphasis. Usually, ganun. Pag nakita nyo yung ganitong chiastic structure, ano yung ibig sabihin ng chiastic structure? Ibig sabihin yan, both A speaks the same. They are equivalent. They are counterpart. Ganun din, B, C. So, ganun yung chiastic structure. So, dito sa outline natin, sabi dyan, no, in chapter 5, verse 2 to 3, it talks about the purpose of priesthood. Ano ba yung purpose ng priesthood? General statement about the purpose of priesthood. And pagdating sa chapter 5, verse 9, 5, 2 to 3, then 5, 9 to 10, so it talks about purpose. Ang purpose ng priesthood, sinasabi dito sa chapter 5, 2 to 3, ito ay na-fulfill kay Jesus Christ, yung purpose nito. Mamaya makikita natin, it talks about the general purpose that is to offer sacrifice for sin. And basically, when we think about sacrifice, in the context of the Old Testament Levitical priesthood system, we are talking about the cover-up or remission of sin. It talks about salvation. And that salvation was fulfilled, accomplished by Jesus Christ. Doon, particularly sa cross. Now, it talks about qualification 1. Qualification 1. Ang qualification 1, he is able to sympathize. Generally, when we think about priesthood, kinakailangan siya ay mayroong kapasidad na makapagsimpatya. Ano pagkakaiba ng prophet sa priest? Sa pagkakaiba, basic differences or distinction ng prophet sa priest?
Yung prophet nagpo-portal.
Okay.
Tapos yung priest, ni mediator.
Mediator.
Yung prophet ay siya yung sinisend mo para sa may message.
Okay.
Priest naman, siya yung nag-propose sa Lord. Sila na yung
So in other words, when we think about prophets were God's representative to man. Spokesperson ng Lord, no? ng spokesperson ni Yahweh, ng Lord, ang mga prophet. So, thus saith the Lord. The prophets deliver God's message. Yun, basic yun, ha? Prophets were God's representative to men. While on the other hand, when we think about priests, high priests, they were
Representative of man to the Lord.
They were representatives of people to God. So, para silang mediator. Yung mga Jewish Christians na sinusunatan dito ng ating author, ng writer na to, how should they respond? Nakita natin dito yung affirmation that we have a great high priest, Jesus, who is now in the heavens, who has twofold nature. He is human and He is God. Ano ang magiging response natin dito? Dalawang bagay. Number one, let us hold fast our profession or our confession. Why? For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with feelings of our infirmities. Why we should hold fast our confession? Naalala niyo yung warning passage na discuss natin in chapter 6. chapter 5, sunod chapter 6. Doon sa chapter 6, nakita natin na yung tendency ng mga mananampalataya to fall away from the faith because of the difficulties, because of the hardship they were experiencing. Kaya napaka-strong ng warning dito nung writer ng Book of Hebrews. Bakit? Ang foundation ng kanyang warning ay yung sinasabi dito ng book ng writer from chapter 1 that that Jesus is far more excellent. He is superior. He is better. Not only better than angel, kasi sabi nga doon, kayo nga, when you think about the Old Testament, you believe that the Old Testament was delivered by the angel of the Lord. At pinapaniwalaan nyo, tinatanggap niyo yun, yung message ng angels. And Jesus is far more better than the angels. How much more that you have to receive the word of Jesus because He is far more better than the angel. In the same manner, Jesus is far more better than Abraham. And you are saying that you are descendant of Abraham and you are following Abraham. He is an image of faith to you. And how much more Jesus? He is far more better than the angel. And now, Jesus is a great high priest. He is far more better than the order of the Levites. How much more that we hold fast to our confession. Why? For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with feelings or infirmities. And positively, therefore, come boldly unto the throne of grace. For two reasons. Number one, that we may obtain mercy. Pangalawa, and find grace to help in time of need. It is interesting to note, at the throne of grace, not to seek for justice, but to seek for mercy. The throne of grace where Jesus is. So hold fast, come boldly. That's the first part of chapter 4, verse 14 to 16. We have a great high priest. And secondly, second part ng chapter 5 is we have a perfect high priest who is fully qualified. Ito na nga yung theistic structure. So what was the general purpose of priesthood? It says here, salvation from sin. Ano sabi ng chapter 5 verse 1? For every high priest chosen from among men is appointed to act on behalf of men in relation to God. Why? To offer gifts and sacrifices for sin. So that is the purpose why God instituted high priest, the Levitical priesthood. Na gagawin natin yun? To offer up sacrifices. Basically, to summarize it, for the salvation of sin. Now, sabi dito, for every priest taken from among men is ordained for many things to God, that He may offer both gifts and sacrifice for sin. Paano ito fulfilled in Jesus? Chapter 5, verse 9. And being made perfect, He became the source of eternal salvation to all who obey Him. Being designated by God a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. So nakita niyo yun? Chapter 5 verse 1, ang purpose nito is to offer. In chapter 5 verse 7, it is accomplished by Jesus. In the days of His flesh, Jesus offered up prayers and supplication with loud cries and tears to Him who was able to save Him from death, as He was heard of His reverence. So, importante ito, ano? So, it was indeed a calling. to be appointed as high priest. And Jesus, in chapter 5, verse 5, accomplished it, fulfilled it. So also Christ did not exalt himself to be made a high priest, but was appointed by him who said to him, "You are my son, today I have begotten." So we have a perfect high priest. From chapter 4, 4 to 16, hanggang chapter 5, verse 1.
Is the ideal role of a royal priest. But tragic. And so humans are exiled from Eden, we've been
May speaker yun dun sa kailangan.
Rinig naman po ba, sir?
Subtitle din.
We started by looking at Adam and Eve, who were called to represent God and rule over creation as His image.
ruling and representing God. This is the ideal role of a royal priest. But tragically, they're deceived by a creature. They abandon their calling, and so humans are exiled from Eden and fill the world with violence.
But all is not lost. God promises that one of their descendants will come to intervene on their behalf and restore the blessings of Eden.
A new priest to restore the veiled priests.
He's going to strike that deceiver while being struck by it. He's like a royal priest who becomes a sacrifice.
Now, through Israel's story, God raises up many people who could have been this royal priest, like Abraham, Moses, and David.
And they all fail. But their stories point forward, anticipating the ultimate royal priest.
And this brings us to Jesus.
Now, in the time of Jesus, the people of Israel were ruled by the Roman Empire, but they were governed by their own priests, including high priests who worked in the Jerusalem temple.
The high priest was the only one who could enter the most holy space, and it was separated by a thick curtain, embroidered with images of cherubim.
And the high priest at this time was a man named Caiaphas. He is the one who currently represents the people before God. But then Jesus came onto the scene.
And when we're introduced to Jesus, he's outside of Jerusalem at the Jordan River getting baptized. The skies open up and God says, "You are my son, whom I love. With you I'm very pleased."
Now, these words blend together three statements from the Hebrew Scriptures that are all about the coming Christ, who will be the king who God promised to raise up from the line of David, and also the beloved son, like Isaac was to Abraham. And he's the suffering royal servant of Isaiah, who dies for the sins of his people.
This baptism is like his ordination as a royal priest.
Right. And so it's no surprise that afterwards Jesus starts going around acting like a priest.
Or rather, forgiving people of their sins, or restoring people who were impure so they could enter the temple.
These are the things that the priests who work in the Jerusalem temple were supposed to be doing.
But Jesus is doing it outside their authority. And so they start to see him as a threat.
And so this leads to a story where Jesus goes up with some friends to a high mountain, and there he's transformed. He starts shining, and all of his clothes become pure white.
This is like the vision Moses had of the ideal high priest.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus is here being revealed as the ultimate royal priest.
And it's here that Jesus decides that he's going to Jerusalem, even though he knows that he'll get killed.
And so later, when Jesus rides into Jerusalem, he challenges the authority of the current priesthood who are running things in the temple.
Like when he storms in and disrupts the sale of animal sacrifices.
Yeah, this is his way of showing he's the priest in charge.
And then later he's asked, "Who do you think you are?"
And so Jesus responds by quoting from Psalm 110 in Israel's scriptures. This is the psalm where King David speaks of someone that he calls his Lord, someone greater than him who will rule as a royal priest. Jesus is claiming that he is that priest.
This makes the priests in Jerusalem angry. So they got Jesus arrested, and they put him on trial before Caiaphas, the high priest, who asks Jesus, "Aren't you the anointed one?"
And what he means is, Are you the royal priest? Because right now, that's my job. And Jesus responds once more by quoting Psalm 110, saying, I am, and you are going to see me ruling at God's right hand.
But actually, we're about to see Jesus get killed. How is that ruling as a high priest?
Well, remember from Israel's scriptures, the pattern of the royal priest who surrenders himself as a sacrifice. Jesus is saying that offering his life for others is the way that he's going to ascend his royal throne.
When Jesus died, the curtain in the temple tore.
God's own life presence, the blessings of Eden that were once guarded and separate, now they can flow out of the temple to fill all of creation.
And when Jesus comes alive from the dead, he appears to his followers and commissions them to go out to the nations.
So that they can share the good news that Jesus is the ruling king and priest who's going to restore the blessings of Eden. This is why the Apostle Paul called Jesus the new Adam. He's inviting us back into Eden to become like him.
So that we can take up our lost calling of being God's royal priests.
Yes, and that new royal priesthood that's made up of the followers of Jesus, that's what we're going to explore next.
So yan, Bible project yan. Sa inyong ipanood. It is more effective. Number 3, it is more firmly established. Number 4, it is of longer duration. Number 5, it is exactly suited to the sinner's need. So let's read chapter 7, verse 1. Pastor George, pakibasa 7 verse 1.